All right. There it is. I see it. It says it's recording. It's good to see everyone except for Coach Hellstrom, who has his camera off right now. But other than that, it's good to see everyone. Thanks for being here. It is the March 23rd, March Madness of the year 2024. So this is our first kind of overall team. We called it kind of a meeting retreat get together gathering of families and get to introduce you to grit, to each other. So thanks for being here. I'm going to introduce a little bit of or a few of the coaches that could make it. There's a few coaches, Coach Lunt and Coach Bolger will be on the call tomorrow. Um, Coach Lunt has four daughters and they are in a volleyball tournament in Spokane. So he is out of service today, but will be with us tomorrow. And Coach Bolger is on a trip also out of service. But we do have the man, the myth, the legend, formerly of Western Oregon University, somebody that is one of my best friends, and I wish I could teach him, like everybody else, how to change their name on the screen because that's not where he's at anymore. And be like kind of reliving if I had something that said Grants Pass High School. But coach is the basketball director at the Multnomah Athletic Club and coach for Grit for last summer. I always tried to get him since I met him in 2014 at a Max Hoops event, but he's been a head college coach. He's been an assistant 4-year coach at Linfield and Willamette. Much more fun when he was at Willamette because we always beat them. We do have some boxers on the call. Obviously, Coach Hellstrom is now a boxer. We have Catherine and Kellen are boxers. So there is a lot of who is did Nicole? You're a
Yes,
boxer?
I am. Yep.
Point. Points for those teams. Points for the boxers. All right. I think Will and Cody are still ahead with two, but it's getting closer. All right. Um, Coach Willis, take over. We're having this little activity, so everyone be ready. And the call is now yours.
Okay, guys, so we're gonna play a little game here. Um, I'm going to give you an acronym, and your goal is to tell me what the acronym means. Okay. If you get it right, you get a point. This could be an acronym or a phrase, like an acronym or slang. Okay. All right.
Wait, so are we just so we're clear, John, are we going to do you want to do by screen or do you want the families to compete against each other or do we want to do parents versus
I think we do.
players?
I think we do parents versus players
Okay, so we'll keep
right
track.
now.
So this is not we'll give a point to every person. So if the players win, Steele will get a point, but Jeremy would not. If the let's see, if there's then if the winning team is parents, we'll give those parents points. So two parents. What do you think, John? How do you think we score this?
I think it's just a separate game, and I think
Separate
we
game.
go.
I think that's a good idea. Go
Yeah, I
for it.
think we just go
So
parents
parents,
and
players.
players.
Got
So,
it. Good idea.
first question will go to our beloved players. Okay. This is the way the game works. I will say the acronym or the phrase. Players, you get one guess at it. I have a 20-second timer. If they get it wrong or don't have an answer, then parents, you get one attempt to steal, okay, and get the question correct. Anybody have any questions on that? All right, none. Okay, here we go. Right out of the gate. 2-hour players. 20 seconds on my clock. The clock will start after I ask or after I say the acronym or phrase. Ready? First acronym is IRS. IRS. Players, what does the IRS stand for? Clock is going.
First person that can get it. Parents obviously should not be telling them.
Internal Revenue Service.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Point for the players. All right.
Players point.
Players point. Next question to the parents. Acronym KOTD. KOTD.
Kicks of the day.
That is correct. Yes.
Barb.
Parents coming through clutch. All
Barb.
right. All right. We got to have a little fun. Okay. Parents. I'm sorry. Players. Next question for you. ATM. What does the acronym ATM stand for?
Automatic Transaction Machine.
That is incorrect. Parents, you have a chance to steal.
Oh, shit.
Oh, I don't.
Automated teller machine?
Correct.
Yeah.
Parents stole that one.
Parents with the steal. Score is 2-1. Now we go to the parents again. Here we go, parents. Next question. The acronym is RIZ.
I think Caleb knows.
Well, I feel like that one's not fair because it's slang. It's not really an acronym, right?
Yes, this can be acronym or slang.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Well, it's what the kids use to, like, you know, when they're macking on another person.
Short for charisma.
There you go.
Yes, I will
What's
go.
this?
I will accept that, Coach Miner.
What was it short for?
Charisma. Riz.
Charisma. Riz.
Riz. I will accept that. Point for the parents.
There's also double Riz though.
Ooh, can you please tell us about this?
That's just extra. That's just extra charisma.
A little extra Riz.
All right. All right. All right. Okay. Next.
Is that 3-1 parents?
It is 3-1 parents. We're playing to 5. So kids, you better get rolling. All right. Players, next question. The acronym is NBA.
National Basketball Association.
That is correct.
That's like a layup. That's like a free throw.
We're trying to help. Trying to help. All right. Next question. Next question is to the parents. Here we go. Acronym FBI.
Federal Bureau of Investigation.
That is correct. Got it twice there, Coach. That is 4-2 now. 4-2.
You're being generous on that one. That one is a layup, but some are quicker on the draw than others, and there is something said for that.
Here we go, kids. To the players. Next question. Acronym. DVD.
Ooh. Noah's got to know that. Noah's got to know what a DVD is.
DVD.
Digital video disc.
Yes.
Did that just like all of a sudden come to you, or why did you not unmute sooner, Coda?
Okay.
I knew the two first two letters, but I couldn't think of the last one, and then it just came to me.
And also, he's scared of public.
Because
Okay.
because there is something to be said, Coda, for stepping up, and because if somebody else would have not known it and said it first, that would have been detrimental. That's like if you're a good shooter and you pass up shots, that's being selfish. And that's not what most people think of when they think of selfish. But if you're a really good shooter and you pass up open shots, that's selfish. And so if you did think of that and you knew it and you didn't buzz in or unmute and say it, I know you were kind of talking like you were underwater there, at least for me a little bit. I kind of missed part of it. But ring in. That's why whenever like I say raise your hand, like I because there's kids that like look like they're scratching their ears. That way they have that out, right? Like, no, I wasn't raising my hand. It's like who has a 4.0? Raise your hand. See, that's what I'm talking about, Coda. Look at your elbow. Like you have a 4.0. Raise your hand and don't let your elbow bend. Right? Like that's a winning like yes, I do. Like that's be quick. Like if you have a 4.0, that's something that differentiates you from everybody else. And that's a lesson that makes you more recruitable the better your grades are. And that's just the part of the if you have a 4.0, like be proud of that. Like it's like it helps you. It's beneficial for you to have better grades. The better your grades are, the more money you'll get to go to college. I'll say that again so that way I know that I said it in this meeting, is that the better your grades are, the more money you'll get to go to college. The better your grades are. And I can say that because I played college basketball. None of my scholarships that I got were for basketball. None. And I was given over $100,000 to go to college. And as now we're an admissions counselor now, I give out over $100,000 often to students because of their grades. How often do I give them money because they're good at basketball? Coach Willis, how often?
Never.
Never, because I can't. We can't. Division III does not give any athletic assistance. So when you're thinking about, do I want to try to get an academic scholarship or do I want to try to get a basketball scholarship? I highly recommend trying to get the academic scholarships. There's just way more of them. And unless you're like a really big gambler and you're just putting all your eggs in that, I'm going to play college basketball and get a scholarship, like work on your grades. That's directed to the players. All right, Coach Willis, give us another acronym. This one's for the players. And I appreciate you trying to get through this part of the meeting by giving those layups, but 4-2 players, give us another acronym or tell
I
us.
think it's the parents' turn right now.
Is the parents' turn? Okay.
Parents' turn. Parents
That's
for
4-2?
the win. 4-2 for the win, parents. The acronym is GRIT.
I know.
Gratitude, resiliency. Oh no.
Intensity, togetherness.
Hey, that was a team effort. That was a team effort.
Face.
Barb was about to say integrity.
I was.
Luckily, I think it was Alicia and maybe Nicole that jumped in and were able to get the intensity. So good job. And then sometimes people say toughness or tenacity, but it's good options, but not what grit went with. Togetherness. So good job. I think that means the parents win.
Parents
And
win.
parents win. Parents win. Good job on that competition. Coach Hellstrom, tell us a little bit. So just so everyone knows, Coach Hellstrom and I go way back. He's been a head high school coach in Modesto, California. He's been an assistant high school coach at a number of good high schools in the Portland area, including Central Catholic, where he was an assistant for one of my best friends, Dan Munson. And then he was an assistant at Liberty High School, an assistant most recently at Sherwood High School, and now is an assistant at Pacific University in Forest Grove. Go Boxers, go Grit. Go ahead, Coach Hellstrom. I'm going to turn it over to you.
All right. Well, we're just excited in terms of today about just meeting everybody and doing those, doing these sort of things. You know what, I learned about Riz today, and double Riz even more so. I mean, it's wild. I was expecting like the FBI, like somebody to say something like kind of funny about that, but no, I'm just excited that we get to be here today. This is really great. So, Coach Miner, thanks for setting this up. I know that everyone's taking their time. I did turn my camera off for a second, but partially was to adjust my screen, but also to check on the score. So my apologies. So I'm ready. I'm in for whatever.
Okay, well, I appreciate you looking, at least sometimes I do this when I have to like take a big bite of food or something. I'll just be like, oh, where'd he go? Oh, people think it's like, oh, where'd he go? But maybe it's just because I have wanted to take a big bite of food. I'm trying to teach, we're trying to coach, we're trying to learn while we're here, but there's a little trick. And then it's like, oh, there he's back. It's like, no, magic man. But no, I think that's great. Coach Hellstrom, Max Hoops event next weekend, the 30th, is 9 to 4 at Sherwood High School. Everybody on Grit has already paid for this event. If you can't make it, I understand. There is people that have told me that they won't be able to make it, but tell them the website of where they could register, and then I will tell them the discount code they use to sign up. This is a test for Coach Hellstrom too, because it's a really easy website to remember.
It's maxhoops.com.
Okay, there we go. Coach Hellstrom has been my assistant and my partner with Max Hoops for a long time, and if he was gonna have to Google that, so
I'm looking at it right now. What are you talking about? This is super excited. Yes, I'm right here.
It is.
You got Jameson. You got.
Look at those Max Hoops kids. That's pretty cool to see. Jameson, the kid on the right there, at least my right, he played at Sherwood High School, came to Max Hoops as a freshman, and then he's been now all-conference player at Oregon Tech. Incredible kid from Sherwood. And then on the other side is Antonio Salinas, who played at Zilla High School up in Washington, and then played at Western Oregon, and then finished up at Northwest University. And those are great kids that were part of Max Hoops. So I started Max Hoops when I was at Southern Oregon University coaching. And when Coach Willis moved out from Florida, he came to a Max Hoops event, and that connected us. Coach Lunt connected with him at a Max Hoops event. And then when Coach Lunt got the job at Pacific University, I got to start coaching with him there. So Coach Lunt is the head coach of the Grit team. We're going to call them 17U and 16U. So there is there's no 17U players on the top team. So we'll make that final announcement, but it still will be able to be fluid. But we want to make sure that we get the best players and the best fit, the best positions to where you guys can be successful. So next on the agenda, trivia. So this will go back to the parents already won. So what that means is that they get one beverage. It can be an Arnold Palmer. I love Arnold Palmers. That's my favorite beverage. That's what I have right here in this cup. That's what I drink the most. So it could be an Arnold Palmer. I know Coach Hellstrom loves a good Arnie. It could be Coach Willis. What's your favorite beverage?
Shirley
No, he's
Temple.
thinking because he's like, man, I really like Moscow Mules when Brant and I go out after camp.
This
But
is true.
but
Coach
do I
Willis does like
try to
adult
say
stuff.
that I like Coke, a cola, but I don't like soda? So do I tell? I know that's what you were thinking, right?
A Shirley Temple, Coach, would be my favorite.
That's your favorite beverage,
Favorite beverage.
Shirley Temple. I believe it.
Good strong one.
I would say if you like the Shirley, I don't even, what is a Shirley Temple that has grenadine and what is it?
Sprite. Grenadine and Sprite, Coach.
So you like extra grenadine, or what do you mean by strong? Like
Like
extra,
the
like
like the like the Sprite, for example. Like if you get a Sprite at McDonald's, that's a really strong Sprite, right? Um, so some places have stronger Sprite than others, I guess.
let's just have you tell us where you get the watered down Sprite. I mean, just so that way I know what to avoid. Can you tell us where you've been just it's
Um,
like the Walmart brand
um,
or like or is it real Sprite or like where are
yeah,
you getting
no.
this?
So
Sam's Club?
no, I think the worst Sprite I've ever had, I think, is at Burger King. Um, so um
Wow.
Wendy's isn't as good either. So there's like McDonald's Sprite, then there's everybody else.
We are not paid spokesmen. We everybody thinks I work for Apple because I made everybody get an iPhone to be a part of this team. Barb's like, does this guy get like extra? You didn't. I'm sorry. There is a few people. I'm not going to call anybody out because everybody did oblige and everybody is part of a group chat now. All the players, all the coaches. So we have 18 players. We have 5 coaches. The 23 of us are in a chat now. It's an iMessage. So we had a player that couldn't play or is not going to play. So we removed him. I feel bad because to be in a chat with John Willis and Coach Hellstrom and Coach Lunt and Coach Bolger, that I know everybody on this call paid to be here. So not saying that that's worth it alone. There is a lot of the basketball and stuff that you get too, but to have that type of wisdom and knowledge is pretty cool. But I know Coach Bolger has met with some of the players. He's had individual meetings with them. It's pretty cool to see because he is you'll ever get to meet him tomorrow, but he is an incredible young man. Like we've talked about, so some of you know, he got recruited to Pacific, played JV for me his freshman year, kept working, was a 2-time all conference, Northwest Conference post, undersized post player that loved to dunk and swing from the rim and had to be coached because he's got a lot of passion. He's an intense person. And so I like that. I I like having to kind of coach that fury. Like you really have to coach him, like because otherwise he might headbutt somebody or he's just going like, but trying to fire kids up is hard. So try to bring the juice, right? Like you guys as players, bring that energy. And if you guys match Coach Willis's intensity when he's coaching and Coach Bulger's, we're going to be good. Coach Hellstrom has his voice. When he coaches, some of you guys have heard it, he uses his voice. And some of us haven't learned how to do that yet, or some of us don't like to do it. But we're all having to do it, which is why I ask everybody to use their phone and film a video and stretch your comfort zone. Because it's okay to be a little reserved, but the squeaky wheel gets the grease. Raise your hand if you've ever heard that. And it's okay that some of your hands went straight up. It's okay in this one because it's kind of hard to see if you do put your hand up all the way. But yeah, so they're not saying that you want to be an annoyance, but that's a basketball recruiting lesson. I don't want to, I'm not gonna, yeah, I'll tell you guys. So Caleb tried out for Grit and showed up at all the meetings, didn't know if he was going to make it, and then excelled at the little things like knowing every player's name in the tryout. Like that to me spoke volumes about this kid needs to be a part of Grit. And that's where, there's some of you guys that are kind of taking things for granted or aren't buying in or aren't sending in your stuff. Or I know I had to call out another player because he sent his video in today, which was late, and then his parents didn't get to do theirs yet. And I don't want to get on him too much, but I just kind of said, hey, when did you know about the assignment? Knew about it like Wednesday, and then waited till Saturday to ask his parents to do it. And so that's a lesson. I'm not mad. I'm not mad at him, but it's just like, hey, like, plan ahead a little bit. And I was talking to somebody just yesterday about they waited to the last minute and then made it like kind of an emergency on my part. Right? Like your failure to plan shouldn't constitute an emergency on my part. And that's kind of what your parents were probably thinking if you did ask them, is like, yeah, well, or I don't know, but I think, just I know my grades were always better when I was playing basketball than when I wasn't in college. I played 2 years of college basketball and I didn't play for 2 years. And you can compare the numbers. And I knew, because when I was playing, I knew Friday nights I couldn't wait because I had a game. Thursday nights. So I'd plan, okay, I'd get my work done on Tuesdays because I knew I was going to be busy on Fridays. After basketball, I was like, oh, I'll just put that off. I'll wait till Friday. Parents know what happens on Fridays, and I'm sometimes let my grades slip because my time management wasn't as good. So that's what my message I wanted to say before I turn this over to Coach Willis to have his little message that he perked up. He's like, oh shoot, I gotta hear what I'm supposed to be talking about because he's nervous now. No, Coach Willis is a cool customer, but yeah, I'm gonna turn it over to you. But that's what I wanted to say was about time management. It's essential for you guys. Some of you guys, we're going to go do our goal sheet. I had you guys fill out that form. The goal sheet will be that same way. So that's how you're going to answer some of these goal sheets. But some of you want to play in college. Some of you just want to make your high school team next year. Some of you want to excel and, play in college. We want to try to help you guys get closer to your goals, whatever they are. Like, we want to set realistic goals. We want to set them that are attainable, but we also want to stretch that comfort zone So it's okay. I'm not going to be a dream killer. But if you say you want to play in college, but you eat a lot of Doritos and Funyuns and you don't do push-ups and you don't lift weights, like then you're not being very realistic. You can't have $1 million dreams like in a minimum wage work ethic, right? Like you can't say, "Oh, I want this," and then act like this, right? Like some of you have heard me say this. Some of you, this might be your first time, but if your actions don't line up with your goals, change your goals or change your actions. Really simple thought. Like if you think about it, like this is my goals. I want to play in college, but my actions are that I play 3 hours of Fortnite a night or 2K or Call of Duty or modern world of Warcraft, Tomb Raider. I don't know what video games kids play because I don't play video games. I don't have time. I have a wife, I have kids, I have a family, I have a job, I have this basketball program, I have a few things that I'm doing outside of playing video games. But if your actions are you playing 3 hours of 2K, hopefully it would be the best option out of those. Still not a good option. Then change your actions or be more realistic and say, okay, I just want to be an average high school player. Or I want whatever it is, like just don't say stuff that you don't talk is cheap, I guess, so make sure your actions line up with your goals and time management, high school kids, don't tell me what you care about, show me where you spend your time. Parents, I would say the same, and your checkbook, right? Like where you spend your time and your money, because those time and money, I know time's the most valuable for me. And as we get older, we get less of it, right? Like that's hard to argue. Nobody can argue, right? Like, but the more of something there is, the less it's worth. Like if everybody had a lot of money, it wouldn't be worth as much. If everybody had big diamond rings, they wouldn't be worth as much. Salt used to be more valuable than diamonds because there was more diamonds out there, and salt you could actually do something with. That's so Coach Willis, I'm going to turn this over to you. I just wanted to touch on that. Time management is essential for you guys to get where you want to be. And if your actions aren't in alignment with that, then work on that, you guys. Like, show me your schedule. Are you putting in the time in the gym? And I think everybody here I've told or knows that you guys have to do stuff outside of grit this spring if your goals are bigger and as big as I think they're going to be when you guys fill out your sheets. So don't say you want to play in college and only show up to grit activities. Some of you guys were pretty winded the other night when we worked out. Some of you guys got pretty tired, and that shows that you haven't been working as much as you should. So I'm gonna turn this over to you, Coach Willis, because Coach Willis is the man that I first had heard say, you don't wait to work, you work while you wait. Also the founder of Juice U and the Juice podcast and a few other things. But Coach Willis, take it away.
Thanks, Coach. I had two thoughts that I want to share with you guys. So the first is another acronym, the GPS. All right. The GPS stands for Global Positioning System. And there are three things that are measured or used to calculate and help figure out the GPS, and that is positioning, navigation, and timing. Okay, so the GPS tells you essentially where you are located It looks at where you are located, where you want to go, and it tells you the route that you need to take and how long it should take you to do that. This is something that we try and apply to our life, but as it relates to basketball, I want you to think about these three words for GPS, to think about game preparation steps. Game preparation steps. So when you're using that as your GPS, my question to you is, what do you need to do to be ready to compete? The beauty of playing in the spring is that it goes a lot faster. We don't practice every day. We play games on weekends. You play in tournaments and you play multiple games over and over again. So this is really a chance for you to fine tune things within your game to really hone in what do you need to have done to be prepared to play. You should have an answer to that question because all of you are wanting to play basketball, and especially at some higher level. Is anybody trying to play basketball in college? Go ahead by raising your hand and don't let your elbow be, right? Because coach told you that earlier. So understand this, that your role on a college team may be different than it is on the grit team. It might be different than it is on your high school team. Truth is, most high school kids are not ready to play as freshmen because the game is faster, the game is stronger. Now, I would encourage you, and I would have you think about this. You might be starting at your high school team, but you might come to college and you might come off the bench. As college coaches, we need impact guys. We need to know that you're ready to impact the game when you come off the bench. So you might be used to getting 6 or 7 three-point opportunities in high school. Well, in college as a freshman, you might get 3. And that's only 3 if you make the first 2. Like if you come in off the bench and you miss the first one, you might turn around and come right back out. Just depends on the system that you go and play in. So I really want you to think about what is it that you need to hone in on to get ready to play? Is it a certain amount of sleep you need? Is it a certain type of food that you need to eat? Is it the music that you listen to? Is it like a routine or a ritual that you have? Maybe a prayer that you say? It may be a phone call to a particular person. Maybe you want to talk to your mom or talk to your dad or something like that before you play. But I would really challenge you guys to hone in on what it is that you need to do before you are ready to play. Is everybody good there? Okay. Next thing I want you to think about is this: making the most of this opportunity. I know that, you know, you listen to Coach Miner and he talks about like Coach Miner and Coach Hellstrom and Coach Lunt, Coach Bolger and myself. If you leave this opportunity without having any question that you may have about basketball answered, then you have missed the boat. You probably have about 75 years of college coaching experience assembled on this staff at all different levels: junior college, NAIA, Division II, Division III, Division I. You got former Division I players. You have people who have played on scholarship. You have people who have not played on scholarship. You have people who've walked on. There isn't much that has happened in the realm of college basketball that our coaching staff as a collective have not seen before. I said this to Clayton as I was riding in the car with them. I said, Clayton, you have a college coach riding with you for an hour. You should have some kind of question. And if you don't have questions, then that's a blown opportunity. And you guys have to realize, like, it would be like having an opportunity to sit down and have lunch with a millionaire, or you know, rest his soul, Steve Jobs, or being able to sit down and have a meeting with him, or with the Queen of England, or with the president. I mean, or with somebody, anybody. You know, you're talking about a group of people who have given to this game on multiple levels, and who want to help you, right? But you have to make the most of this opportunity. you're getting a chance to be coached by what I think is the best coaching staff in club basketball. I would put us up against anybody. I would stand on that. I know the young folks, you guys talk about standing on business, right? Like I would stand on business and say that our coaching staff is better than any other coaching staff, especially in the club realm.
Stand on biz?
Stand on business. Standing on business.
Okay, I know Coach Hellstrom's camera's off. He's probably taking notes on that one. Standing on business. Well, I guess I mean it's kind of I get it, but
it's something that the young folks say these days.
No, I understand. No, that's lit. No, it's not lit. It's not the time to use it. I'm joking. I'm totally joking. I don't think so.
No, that was good. That was good, Coach. But no, I would just encourage you all to make the most of this opportunity, getting to know other players, learning other styles. The things that we ask you to do might be different than what you're asked to do at your high school. And then also I would say use us as a resource because Coach Lunt's a head college coach right now. He's an active sitting head college coach. Coach Hellstrom is the recruiting coordinator at Pacific. So if you're not asking him what is it that you guys are looking for in a player, then that's kind of shame on you. And just to know what that process is like. I've coached at junior college, I've coached at NAIA level, I've coached Division II. So we could help you, like Coach Miner's an admissions counselor. What do you need to get into Pacific? What's it cost to go there? If you're not asking him that question, then that's a waste of time. So those would be my two things. Knowing what you need to do for your GPS and making sure that you make the most of this opportunity.
I love it. I love it. Make the most of this opportunity. No. So we're going to see if I'm going to call Steele. Can you unmute? What does GPS stand for?
Game preparation steps.
Bingo. You got a point. Got it. We're gonna go around real quick. I want just because, like I said, I've seen the videos that you guys submitted. You guys haven't seen them yet, so we'll just have everybody take a chance real quick. I'll call on people, and then if you want to just unmute, say your name and where you guys are from, and then we will hear a brief message from Coach Hellstrom, and then a brief summary, and then we'll wrap up with a little trivia until one of you guys is the winner because you get 5 first camera team family to get to 5 first. All right. Jeremy, passing it off to you because I'm going to give you the pass. First one. Here we go.
Cool. So my name is Jeremy Hansen. My son is Baylor, who's in Hawaii right now. And yeah, I am in Beaverton, and he goes to Mountainside High School.
And the Ducks play today, so you have that Ducks gear on.
Right.
Some fans, some not fans. I would definitely side as a fan. My wife has her undergrad and her master's from U of O. I went to a school that doesn't have football, does have basketball. Lady Pilots, shout out, made the national tournament this year. Just exited yesterday, but still pretty cool for small school on the bluff to go to the big dance. All right. I will turn it over next to how about the Hendricks family. Go ahead, unmute there, Aiden, and introduce yourself and who you're with, or if you would like to introduce them, that'd be great.
My name is Aiden Hendricks. I go to St. Mary's High School, and this is my dad, Everett Hendricks, and then my mom, Leisha Hendricks.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. That was pretty good. That was pretty good. That was pretty good, Aiden. Next, we'll just flip it over to you, Clayton. Your shot here. Let's hear it.
I'm Clayton Sleggers. I go to Salem Christian High School. This is my mom. She went to Napa High School in the coast.
And then Oregon State. So we will have some people that are Beavers and some people that are Ducks, but we will all be Grit. Everybody together. So we'll kind of touch on this at the end, but when we are at Grit practices, you're welcome to wear your high school gear, but other clubs, team stuff you can wear at home if you don't want to rock Grit stuff out in public, because I don't know why you wouldn't. I mean, but we're gonna have some gear orders, and we had everybody get their uniform orders in. And then we'll get some stuff for the parents too, so we can make sure that you guys have some swag. Would that be an acceptable use of that word? I needed to get the nod of approval from Coach that was.
I just want to say that I'm glad to see that Clayton is here with us today. War Eagle. Just
ouch. Ouch. If you guys don't know what that means, you're not an Auburn fan.
He's a big Auburn fan, so
no, I know he is. So he knows, but I said if you don't know what that means right now,
right? Yeah,
Auburn got knocked out in the first round, so that was a big upset.
Roll Tide.
But yeah, pretty tough way to end it. But hey, Auburn made it. And South Florida, how did South Florida do this year, John?
South Florida was robbed. We actually won our conference outright, and we had a better case to be in the national tournament than Florida State did to be in the college football playoff. So
college football playoff. What about basketball? How were they?
South Florida won the American Conference regular season. We had 25 wins, so we should have been in the tournament. And I'm standing on business on that.
But you weren't. I mean,
we should have had Auburn. We should have had Auburn spot.
That's like shady biz. That's like standing on shady biz if you're trying to say, well,
we won the SEC championship.
Yeah, the SEC championship was quite a while ago now, though.
And the SEC is 1-5 in the tournament.
SEC is not the Pac-12. Pac-12 is doing pretty good this year. Arizona made it.
Dude, the Pac-12's not even the Pac-12 anymore.
Alicia's excited because Oregon State's still collecting all the money. If you don't know how that's working, the fact that the Pac-12 is doing well means that the Pac-2, which is Washington State and Oregon State, are getting all the money because everybody else is leaving. So they're holding it together, and they will play in the WCC next year, which I'm pretty excited about to see if Oregon State can finish. Well, they're not going to beat Gonzaga. They're probably not going to beat San Francisco, St. Mary's.
Not beating the Gales.
They're not beating the same. So, I mean, maybe a top 4 finish for the Beavers. Not in the Pac-12, though. But that's going to be tough. I'm a West Coast Conference guy, but the Pilots did have a rough year. But when I was playing, we beat Gonzaga. Now I had to get that on the recording just because I think I mentioned it before we started recording before. That back when I was a kid, back when I was a little older than you guys, I played this game up in Spokane and we beat Gonzaga. And I didn't play a lot. Okay, so I played 3 seconds, but in a game,
you didn't turn it over, Coach. You did not.
How many turnovers do you think I had? First person that can unmute and tell me how many turnovers I had.
0.
I think that was the Hendricks. Is that your first or second point? Did I give you one before?
Second.
Okay. I know you're keeping track better than I am because I get excited and I forget to mark things down, or I just throw out points because Really, it's a little swag bag that the winning people will get. It's swag bag. It's not like they're gonna get, you get a new car and you get a new car and you get it. So I
W is a
shouldn't.
W.
That's 2 points.
W is a W.
If you winners win,
That's right.
hashtag winners win. That is
So,
true.
A
So
little
we're on
win,
to 5.
big win, a win's a win.
My name's in that box score. You guys know
See?
about Club Trillion, which is a 1 followed by all zeros. Club Trillion. It's a walk-on frat. Hashtag. You guys know what a hashtag is? Parents and kids? Like, you guys know what a hashtag is? Yeah, hashtag walk-on frat Club Trill.
The other Zoom with Lunt and Peterson.
Coach Hellstrom, are you unmuted and on your phone trying to send a message?
That's you. Yes, I was. I didn't know how I did that. I'm
I don't know
excited.
how you do that either. I don't know how you did that, but
I did.
You were not.
No, I got the dogs going. I was talking about pancakes for lunch.
At least you saved everybody on the call from having to hear the story about how I checked in with 7 seconds left.
Well, I can do you one better. We were playing a team at Warner Pacific and we were like down 7 or so with like under 5 seconds and they inbounded it and like a guy fouled with 0.1 seconds and I literally said, why? And the coach looked at me because that guy fouled out and looked right down the bench and said, you get in for him. So I played 1/10 of a second. Can you beat that?
Wow.
Yes. Coach Munson, who's a great friend of mine, told me to quit if there was a missed shot that I should get the rebound so I could actually get a rebound. I played 1/10 of a second. Yep.
In college or
in college? Yep. No, in Warner. Well, I mean, like not total, but just in that game. Yeah.
In that game, yeah. Wow. Yeah. 1/10 of a second. That's insignificant. But your name will forever be in a box score.
Yes.
Yes. That's what Club Trillion was about being pretty much insignificant to the game.
Yes.
Without any points, rebounds, steals, assists, turnovers. So just because it is recording and I do work this into almost every conversation also, I am the NCAA Division I national record holder for fewest turnovers in a college career. So I'll say that again because it's kind of mind-blowing if you think about it when some of you guys get in the game and you like travel right away or you pass it out of bounds and I'm like, what are you doing? That's one more. I also knew if I turned it over, my rear was coming right back out of the game. But yeah, I did play in 21. So Gonzaga was the fewest I played in a game, 3 seconds. We were up 5 with 7 seconds. They put me in to play defense. Blake Stepp came down and drained one from about 38 feet. 4 seconds left. They call timeout. They sub me out. So my plus minus was horrible, right? 3 seconds. They scored 3 points. My guy didn't touch it, but I also didn't turn it over once. So first family that can unmute and tell me what my assist to turnover ratio would be gets a point. Everybody gets a point because it's infinite. INF. So it can't be done. You can't divide by 0. Everybody gets a point because nobody rang in and said, well, I guess I could have given you a point if you would have rang in and said, well, infinite. You guys are good at math, right? Like you can't divide by 0. Isn't that like a Pythagorean theorem?
Undefined. Undefined. Can't do it.
Undefined. Can't be done. Thank you. Thank you, Nicole. But yeah, not Pythagorean theorem. I know that's not the same thing, or the transitive property. Aiden, did you want to tell me what the Pythagorean theorem is for a point? Yeah, I don't.
And
Is that a squared plus b squared equals c squared?
yeah, where you from?
Is that right?
Yes, it is.
What do you use it for?
For a triangle.
There you
Yeah. To
Triangle. It is for a triangle. I'll give you a point there, Aiden.
Bonus question, what type of triangle?
Ooh, do you know, Aiden?
a normal one. I don't know.
A right angle triangle.
Coda,
Great job.
4.0.
Great job.
Yeah,
Great
right.
job.
I think I was right.
Coda's got a 4.0. Right triangle. Not an isosceles. Isosceles would be a great name for a little boy or girl. That's from a TV show from the 90s. Any parents know what TV show that would be from?
Well, I didn't.
Isosceles. It's a name for a baby. It could be for a boy or a girl. Or Seven. I used to watch this show on repeat in my dorm room freshman year. It's called Seinfeld. And there's an episode where they're talking about isosceles, like an isosceles triangle. It'd be a great name. Anyways, we digress. All right, couple more things and then we'll wrap up with the trivia. I know we talked about it a little bit on the info meetings, but we do have a 24-hour cool down period where you're welcome to come talk to us after games. It's not like we're saying you have to stay away, but if there's any type of questions about offensive schemes, playing time, why'd you take me out of the game when there was 4 seconds left? I would have made the free throws, whatever it is that you guys have that's like a complaint or concern, we will hear you out. We do suggest the first meeting be with the player and the coach. If there's still an issue about scheme or your role, then Karen's would probably be the second alternative, but we do have a 24-hour where we want you everybody to be able to sleep, catch your breath, calm things down a little bit. So, because I have seen coaches get cornered or, we don't want to be a program where that type of thing happens. Coach Willis and I have been in coaching for a long time. We want to see everybody be successful and do well. We had a meeting where, yeah, sometimes I get a little verbose or Coach Willis chats a little long, but we had a parent one time say, well, it's about time my kid was sitting. You guys talked for 30 minutes after the game and my kid was sitting the whole time or something like that. And that was just not a good thing, not a good look. So 24-hour cool down period. Like I said, you're welcome if we are in somewhere and you want to buy us Shirley Temple, I think they're called, or something like that. You're welcome to come hang out with us. But if you're upset over playing time or not the role you want, we'll wait 24 hours. All right. Moving on. Jacob, unmute, please. It's go time.
Hey.
What does the acronym VHS stand for? I guess I should even ask, do you know what a VHS is?
Isn't that like the square box tape thingy that you put in the TV?
I will accept that as the right answer, Jacob. It is that. And for a bonus point, if you guys can tell us what it means, Mom and Dad.
Boy, video HS tape. God, that was before he was born, I think.
It was before.
Oh yeah, VHS that was my high school video was like the first DVD, and everyone was like, "Dude, that's so." Anybody? I don't even. I did know DVD.
What about Beta? Do you
Anybody remember Beta? Does it sound like that she's in?
Wow, I'm old.
We got some of that. We're agreeing with you. I do kind of remember Beta, but you sounded a little broken up there, Barb. It was a little bit like you were talking underwater.
Oh, sorry.
But we had cassette tapes, and you used to put the duct tape on them so that way you could keep recording over, because they had these things that you would pop off that meant you couldn't record from the. Colin, please tell me you know what I'm talking about. Okay, Colin's agreeing. Where yeah, it was like you could record the song, but you'd always miss the beginning because it'd come on the radio. Anyways, parents, thank you for nodding along. Kids are like, what are these old people talking about? Kind of like the old Doogie Howser joke. I use that joke often because Coach Lunt is kind of like Doogie Howser. Coach Lunt was a head college coach when he was 26 years old. 26 years old, and he was a head college coach. 26. And so we kind of joke he's like Doogie Howser, where some of the kids are nice, so they're kind of like, oh yeah. The parents are all laughing and smiling, and nobody has any idea who the Doogie Howser is. Is there any teenager that can tell me who Doogie Howser is? Nobody.
He was like a doctor who was like a teenager.
How'd you know that? I think I told you that before when we hung out.
Yeah.
But you remembered, or they told you just now, or however, Kellen's the Fitzgerald's point. You get a point. But yeah, that's who Doogie Howser was. He was like a 15-year-old doctor. This TV show from probably the late 90s. About the time Seinfeld was on. You guys don't know about Seinfeld. I taught my roommate, who was from South Central LA, a little bit about Seinfeld, and he taught me a little bit about urban rap music. They didn't have a whole lot of that music in Grants Pass, but in South Central LA. But that's what I love about the game of basketball. It's a unifier, right? Like Donald Wilson is now a head high school coach in Vancouver at Seton Catholic. His team won the conference championship. His son is a freshman that was conference player of the year, and he was my roommate our sophomore year at Portland, and we just became good friends. And now he's doing really. He was kind of immature. Luckily, he had a girl that he was dating, so he'd stay over at her place more than he would stay in our dorm room, just for space wise. Yeah, you were coached by him, Noah. That's funny. Yeah, he's a funny guy. He could jump really high when he was younger, as could I, as could most people. And so don't waste your youth, you young people, because I've been old and I've been young, and it's more fun to be young. So enjoy the no response or little responsibilities that you have. That's one thing that's when kids say, well, oh, I didn't get to it, I'm busy. Just you wait. Just you wait. Life will get more busy. I got a few things that I'm doing. So out of respect for everybody's time, I appreciate you guys so much. And thanks for being on. I'm gonna keep it going. I think there's a few other people that need to introduce themselves. I think I got sidetracked. So, Catherine, would you mind unmuting and introducing yourself to us?
Hi, my name's Catherine. I'm Corbin's mom, and he's on a plane right now to Palm Springs, so he's gonna watch it by video later. And he goes to
Awesome.
he goes to Lake Oswego, and we live in Tigard.
Great. Thank you. Thank you for
Yes.
letting us know. I did know, so he's not in trouble, but
Yeah,
it's good to see you.
yeah, good to see you too.
Awesome. let's see, popcorn it. Aiden. Aiden, not Aiden, we'll go Hammond. Aiden Hammond.
Hi, I'm Aiden Hammond from West Albany High School, and this is my mom, Rachel Hammond.
Can we tell us, Rachel, unmute. Tell us your first concert. Do you remember a concert that you went to when you were, well, I guess every concert you've been to would be when you were younger, right? You can't go to a concert when you're older, but give us a concert that you remember.
Actually, I think my favorite concert was actually just recently, and it was Green Day, Fall Out Boy, and I forgot the other one, but it was probably my favorite concert, and it was
Green Day. Can anybody tell me the album name? Was it? I think it started with a D. Anybody
Dookie.
remember?
Dookie.
Dookie is the correct answer. Was that the Fitzgeralds? Oh, that's funny. That is funny. Fitzgerald's point. Okay. Steel. Steel.
I'm Steel Carpenter, and I go to Marshall High School.
What grade are you in, Steel?
I'm a junior.
All right. You're off the hook. Good job. Who else? Let's see. The Longs. Did you guys want to unmute? And we'll have Caleb introduce who he's with there.
There we go. Hi, I'm Caleb. This is my mom, Nicole, and my dad, Matt.
Awesome. And what school did you say you're at?
I'm at McMinnville High School.
And what grade are you?
I'm a junior.
Okay, good job. Thank you. All right, Jones.
Hi, I'm Jacob Jones, and this is my mom, Tammy Jones, and my dad, Dean Jones. And I go to San Barlow High School, and I'm currently a junior.
Great, thank you. And I should have changed or added your guys' names on there. Sorry. Well, kind of sorry. Jacob could have added them on there too. But we're not going to give you too hard of a time, Jacob. No burpees for that one. Let's see who else hasn't. Noah.
Hi, my name is Noah. My mom couldn't make it today because it's my brother's birthday, but her name is Mary Ann, and I go to Mountainside High School, and I'm a sophomore.
Sophomore at Mountainside. Awesome. Hopefully we'll get to connect with your mom and see her in a gym soon. All right, who do we have next? Everybody's moving around on the screen. So is there anybody? Who's it? Will, turning it over to you.
I'm Cody Dimflemeyer. I'm a junior. I go to Horizon Christian High School. This is my dad, Will, and we live in Wilsonville.
Awesome. Thank you. And you guys were early. So I'm going to give you guys a trivia question. You guys have 3 seconds to answer. I played against the Oregon Ducks for 13 minutes. How many turnovers do you think I had?
0.
Okay. We'll give you a charity layup there. Is that 3 points now?
I think so, yeah.
I think so,
I
yeah.
think that's 3. All right.
I got
Who
a
else
question.
hasn't?
Willis, quick, if I could.
Go for it.
Is the acronym for Stand on Business SOB?
Absolutely.
Is okay.
Does any SOB?
I thought it stood for something else, but I like Stand on Business better.
I love it. I love
Kind
it.
of like when my mom kept putting LOL at the end of her text messages because she thought it meant lots of love. I was like, Mom, why do you keep what are you doing? I was like, have a good night, LOL. I'm like, what are you what? And yeah, my dad doesn't have a cell phone. My dad doesn't, so it is a push button now. When I grew up, it was one that went rotary dial. That that shows how dated that dates me a little bit. Or my parents, I guess, dates them a little bit because I had no option. But you'd pick up your phone, and then my mom would be picking up the phone, listening in on my conversations, and then the dial-up internet. And when they pick up the mom, what are you doing? Why? Disconnected me from the internet. I was in the best chat room. Don't get it. Don't get it. All right. Was there who else hasn't had the chance to introduce themselves? Looks like Barb.
Yeah, we haven't gone yet. So, my name is Coda Fredericks. I go to West Summit High School, and I'm a sophomore. And this is my mom, Barb.
Good to see you guys. Okay, Barb, question for you. What does the I stand for?
Intensity! Intensity!
Intensity. I love that you said it with intensity. I was gonna say an iPhone, or but because you jumped in with such intensity, point for you. 2 points. And I gotta stay quiet because my kids are upstairs asleep. So, but you get 2 points. I like that, Barb. Good answer. But does anybody know what the I stands for in like iPod, iPad, does it stand for anything, or is it just like
Individual.
arrogance? Is it really individual?
I think so. That's what he said.
That's what he said. TV show. Similar saying. Individual. I just thought it was egotistical, but then no I, because you know how like there's that quote, there's no I in team, right? But there is an M and an E.
It stands for internet.
Is it internet, really?
Internet Portable Open Database, iPod.
Internet portable. Wow, I'm never gonna remember that. But
no, I had to Google it. I didn't know it.
I won't give you a point, but I will give you credit for being resourceful, which is a great lesson. One of the last things we'll touch on here in this last 4 minutes, being resourceful. If you can Google it and it'll give you the answer, don't text me. I'm not trying to be a jerk. And I know Coach Willis said we're accessible, right? But that's kind of like the ask 3 before you ask me rule that we talked about. Like if you can ask 3 of your teammates and they don't know the answer, then come ask me the question. That's just a good lesson for everybody, right? Like if you can Google it, like, unless you just want to like have a better introduction line, right? Like instead of saying like, hey, how's the weather? Or if you want to ask a question, like that's where Coach Willis said, have questions, but don't come up and say, well, how can I get recruited? Have more specific questions. Have things that show you've done your research. Like if you just come up to coach and say, hey, how can I get recruited? It's like, well, have you done any research? And it's okay to have, I know everybody starts somewhere, but if you can Google it, and then you ask us questions, that's a kind of an annoyance sometimes. But if you want to just ask us good questions, we're more than willing to talk. But that's just kind of, you don't ask your boss questions that are gonna, not saying we're your bosses, but don't say I get discouraged, distracted. Sorry. You guys don't know, North Carolina's beating Michigan State, and I was distracted. But all right, we're gonna have everybody said something, so now we're gonna do trivia until we get somebody with 5. Does everybody know how many points they have? Raise your hand if you have 1 or more. 1 or more. Raise your hand if you have 2 or more. 3 or more. 3 or more. Who has 4? 4. Hendricks and Fitzgerald have 4. Was that Cody and Will at 3? Okay. This one we're going to enter in the chat. So if you can get the chat ready, you can pick up the phone if you need to. Uh, okay, here's the question. First person to get it right. This mascot is the most common mascot for Division I football teams. Quick on the draw, but we're gonna go through after we see. But if okay, so we have lions and tigers and bears. What's the next line ever? I saw Alicia with the oh my. There is fifth bulldog. The correct answer is bulldog. So lions, birds, um, is what it would be a bird. I mean, I know there's lots of types of birds, but is there like the Bellingham birds? Is birds? I know that it would try. I get that you're trying to encompass like cardinals but that's I don't know. Is there bulldogs? So we're gonna give that's the correct answer. Second is tigers. Tigers was second. So Clayton and Elise second. Ducks, quack quack. Jeremy giving a shout out to the ducks. Cats. There's a lot of cats, Jacob. That is a good answer. But I think the winner of this trivia and of the overall competition would be, not saying because they're boxers, the Fitzgerald family. Congratulations. You guys are the champions. You get the belt for the first year, first parent player party, virtual party. Who just let's do another trivia or two just for fun. Who knows? I have this list of all my favorite trivia. Um, who was the last team to win the West Coast Conference Women's Basketball Championship? West Coast Conference. The Fitzgeralds are on it. They just keep racking up the points. That is accurate. That is correct. The Portland Pilots are the West Coast Conference champions. Shout out to my alma mater. What city in the United States has the most Division I college basketball teams? I think we gave this trivia the other day, so some kids might remember. Okay, Aiden, remember. Okay, you guys do remember. It is Philadelphia. Philadelphia. The Hendricks. That is a bonus point. I will get you guys something. It won't be as luxurious and fancy as the Fitzgeralds get, but you guys will get the consolation point. All right. Well, thanks everybody for joining us today. It is 3:33 on 3/23/2024. But thanks everyone for joining us. Coach Willis, I'm gonna let you give the parting shot as the man himself. If you guys don't know, you guys will get to know. Bring in the juice. Coach Willis.
I think it was a great job today, everybody. Thanks everybody for participating and getting to know each other a little bit better, answering the trivia questions. So remember, you got to work while you wait. You can't wait till the door opens to start working. If you were gassed after that last workout, you should be running. You should be running every day. You should be running every day. Don't let that last workout be the last time that you ran. All right. Get in the shape that you need to be. Work on your craft, and we'll see you guys at practice next time.
Let's go. Success is when preparation meets opportunity. Hopefully, you guys have been preparing. You guys will have college coaches in the gym every time when you're working out, every practice, every game. So don't coast or take any reps for granted. We will be back tomorrow for the second part. I'm going to be collaborating and combining all those videos, trying to figure out how to do it. Is anybody good with that? I have them all on a drive. Does anybody know how to do that? Any players preferably that know how to do video? I know people, some of you guys are eager and want to impress, but if there anybody that knows how to do that, I know Caleb's thinking, shoot, I don't know how to do it, but I could Google it because I really like making Coach happy.
He's actually pretty good at making his own videos, so he probably could figure it out.
I like that. That's a good answer. No, he was thinking, if you guys saw him, he was like, gosh, like I can figure it out. I could Google how to put together the videos. Good job. All right, you guys. So if you can make it back tomorrow, Coach Lunt will be on. So I do appreciate you guys all taking so much time and being a part of the program. Really looking forward to the season. And yeah, that's all we have for today. But join us next time on Grit. I was about to say Grit Radio, but it's not really radio. So, all right, signing off. Thanks, everyone.